Hey, also, there's a little concept that kind of came to me. I had a student bring in a song today. It was almost this progression in this key. It was his progression was C major, D minor, F major, G major. Ours is going to be slightly different because I wanted to find a backing track I could point you to, which I will. I'll put it in the description. It's T guitar, backing track, C major, and this one is going C, G, A minor, F. So that's a 1 to a 5 to a 6 to a 4. And like I said, I'll put the link down there. And I will be going probably mostly to this close-up angle. So anyways, our progression C, G, A minor, F. And hopefully you're playing, hopefully you're kind of playing these fingerings because it's a little bit tied to this, right? This is pretty much the normal C that most people play. Hopefully you have this G in your pocket, right? Some people play it like this, and it's good to have all these in your pocket, right? That one. For this one, hopefully we're coming out of here. The concept will work, but there's a little linking of the fingers that's pretty sorry. You know, if you're playing this sort of G with our ring finger down here on the third string root, it lays out kind of nicer. Anyways, it's sort of this concept of going between two places. He was kind of talking about wanting to find a way to move up and down the fretboard, and we're working on that, you know, so there's tons of videos out there. The cage system is generally what I'm going to be kind of referring to in this thing. So we're going from, our regular C, and we're not going to go into the scale too much, but, if we were to extrapolate to the next level, hopefully we have our open C scale. Hopefully in any of these positions we have our scale. And then we're going to be skipping the A position, which is this C, kind of an A shape, and we're going to go up to the next one, which is our C here, right? So we got the root of our G-shaped chord is here on the 8th fret. Hopefully you know your scale here, but even if you don't, this lesson is going to totally work for you and get you some of the super cool money notes that make makes everyone pay attention because it's kind of got them juicy intervals. So yeah, and then hopefully in a perfect world you would have your C major scale right here too. And then obviously, and hopefully we could at least see as well. And again, if you don't completely see these now, this lesson is going to totally still work for you. So, but in a perfect world, we could see our C major there out of our G shape. We could see our G major here out of our D shape. And if you don't know these, you can keep going. I guarantee you there's going to be usable stuff even if you have no idea what I'm talking about now. Our A minor, hopefully we see this shape. And then our F major, hopefully we see this shape. I'm going to be referring to them, so if you knew them, it would be better. This would extrapolate better going forward, but in general. All right, so I think I'm going to go to our, we're going to stay close up. That's a good way to do it. Okay, so the progression, so this is the idea. We're kind of going to use, at least for 3 of our 4 chords, our major chords, and so hence it's going to be good for just anything in C major or any time you're using these chords. So our ring finger is kind of going to be like our little like pivot, group leader here. So basically it's going to be going from this C here. We're going to take our ring finger. We're going to slide all the way up, and we're sliding into this position. So what it is our ring finger's on the A string, 3rd fret. We're going up to the 7th fret, same string, and then we're barring this right here. So we got 7, 5, 5, 5, and then I'm not really playing the top note, but if you're going to play it, you could do 8 there on the pinky, or you could do 8, because we're basically playing this G major shape, which is this, and it's also this. So anyways, hopefully, don't worry too much all about that, but like the idea is this as a C major chord. Hopefully you can see it. Boom, boom, boom. Hendrix's favorite chord as far as I can remember when I was listening to Hendrix. It's got these. A lot of the cool part about what I'm going to show you today is that it takes us into, there's a reason that people play out of this position. Not sure if you know it, but like, our regular you know, our first pentatonic position most people learn. And our blues. Right, it's a physically strong place, so that's what's nice. If you're doing bends, and there's a lot of great bends here, you know, you got the three strongest. Okay, so here's our first exercise. We're just going to go between these two shapes, right? So we're going C major here. We're going to go up to this C major, which is the one I just talked about, which is 5, 7, 7, 7. And then if you want the top string, but don't worry about it too much, it'll be 8. Did I say that right? I said that absolutely backwards. I'm sorry, folks. It is 7, 5, 5, 5, 8. Hopefully I remember to fix that. If you're freaking out, I apologize, or I will try to edit it. So, all right, C major open to 7, 5, 5, 5, and then if you want it, 8. Okay, now we're going to G. We're going to play it out of this shape. Again, we're going to have our ring finger be our guide here, and we're going to slide again, 3rd finger to 7th fret, or 3rd fret to 7th fret, and then we're going to do a little partial bar here, if you can see that. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So I'm barring these two notes with my first finger. So it's 7, 5, 5. And that's basically the idea of the chord right there. Okay? Bottom 3 strings, it is your triad. It's kind of it's technically the first inversion triad. We got the 3rd of the chord, we got the 5th of the chord, and we got the root of the chord. Okay? Now we're going to go to our A minor. This one's going to be a little strange. So we can't use our ring finger so much to naturally pivot it exactly, but what I would do if I'm thinking about kind of doing the same sort of thing is take my ring finger and replace it where my middle finger was, right? So normally my ring finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string. I would drop it down before I slid and go to the 2nd fret of the D string, delta, 4th string, and we're going to slide up to the 7th fret again. So again, 3 to 5. Or sorry, 2 to 5. I'm messing up the numbers today. And then it's the top of this A minor chord, hopefully. Get my finger out of there. So again, we're here, and we're looking at 7, 5, 5, 5. Okay, you can also put the 8 out there if you want, just for the fun of it. So either 7, 5, 5, 5 or 7, 5, 5, 8. Okay, that's our A minor. Now we go down to our F. We're going to think about it as the top of this F. We're going to think about it like this. So we got 3, 2, 1, 1. Okay, again, we're going to use our ring finger to slide up to the 7th fret. And we're going to this F right here, which is our C shape, the 4 of our chord progression here. Okay, but we're just doing it with these 3 fingers basically. So we're doing 7, 5, 6, and then if you want, you capo 5. I generally think of it just starting off the bat as a 3-note triad: 7, 5, 6. Okay, so I would start off with literally just kind of trying to get between those two places. So if I do, I'm going to play that little YouTube thing again, and I'm just going to kind of like play the chords however you do it. If you're someone that plays with the pick all the time, that's fine. I tend to do the hybrid where I'm doing pick and fingers. But whatever you want to do, it's more about getting in position and being in the position up here. So our ring finger is ending up on the 7th fret every single time. Let me say that again. Oh, let me say that here. We are going to end up with our ring finger on the 7th fret every time. And it's this super, super strong position. And again, hopefully in a perfect world, when you get up here, you're also in the perfect position for your C major scale. Okay, so here is the idea of the exercise, how I would start it. So hopefully that makes sense. Just going in between the positions. Where this ring finger is actually super important. I think I'm making that obvious that it's important, but you know, that's where you want to end up. Okay, so the other kind of beautiful thing, and this is as far as I'm going to go, so even if you don't know the scales in these positions, sorry, I went to the A position there, but even if you don't know the scales, first off, I'd say learn the scales, open C here, and your G shape major scale here. If you're confused right now because I'm saying G shape C major scale, I would highly recommend trying to not figure it out on YouTube. I'm not trying to really teach it to you now. I would suggest going to a local teacher who understands, and hopefully they can run you through it, because this can get confusing. But it's actually it's kind of, it's a very concise way to look at it. It's not a huge journey to start using it, you know, in very heavy ways that are very helpful. Anyways, so the other kind of beautiful thing on this is when I am, yeah, I can just leave it there. So if I'm on my C major and I go up to here, on the string with my ring finger, that is the major third of my chord. And if you know theory, you'll know, woo, okay, that's where I want to know. And if you don't, just know that the minor third to the major third and the minor third to the 2, so would be basically this position. Here's my C major chord, 7, 5, 5 is what I'm going to think about it right now. So if I go to 6, 7, 5, 5, this is what's called the minor third. If you don't know it, minor third to major third, and then either of the chord tones, or minor third. If I go from 6 to 5, that's minor third 2, and then in this case I went to the root, the 8th fret of the low string. We can go, and you can, you know, when you're doing this move, and I would suggest just getting used to all these moves, minor third to major third, so A string 6 to 7, and then one of the chord tones. Something else you're holding like we talked about before, hopefully, because our chord is, there's a few different voicings, but you know, for a simple thing, we're looking at 7, 5, 5, 5. Then you can either go 8, 8, or you can go 7, 5, 5, 5, 8. Both of those work. I won't go into it any deeper than that. So the beauty of it is this, that little thing is wide open and a very cool sound. I'm actually going to pause this for a second and find another little backing thing. Okay, so I found a little, just random, I'll put it in the description as well. It's from Jack's Guitar Tracks, single chord backing track in C major. I have no idea what it's going to be, but it's just going to be C, and I'm going to kind of, you know, show you when we get up here, we're doing the same thing as we're doing here, just so you know. We can see, actually we got the same shape. Let's not go too deep into that. Okay, so our C major down here, this is our major third, where our middle finger is. So if we go a half note below it, same thing as doing. But the idea generally is that interval, whether you have studied it or not, is where so many of the just money phrases are. Okay, so I'm going to play this, see what it sounds like. I clicked it for a second. It's a little funky, it sounds like. Shouldn't be moving. And I'm just going to go in between these, and especially when I get up to this C place, I'm going to play some phrases that are just 6 to 7, 6 to 5, and I'm going to be resolving to either like a C there, some sort of chord tone that we're holding, and let's just see. I'm not going to get flashy, just kind of play pretty simple. Okay, I love it. Oh my goodness. Literally, Jack's Guitar Tracks came up again. Andy's got a cool little logo that reminds me of a dog, because I think it's supposed to remind me of a dog. Okay, so this is just going to be a vamp in G. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. And our money notes, one of them, this minor, third major, same spot. So now we're going G, and I'll give a little tune here real quick, and then sliding up to the 7th, and 6 to 7, 6 to 5 on the low E string, and going to one of our chord tones here, thinking our chord is 7, 5, 5. Okay? All right, so I'll be right back. So from our A minor, again, what I would do if I was thinking about it, keep it the same way, is move this down to the D string, delta, the 4th string, and then slide up to the 7th. Okay, so this one doesn't quite lay out with the money notes like we want them to exactly, but you can still do the same move. So we'll try it, just see what it sounds like, right? Same thing. We're going to be with the ring finger on 7th fret, 6 to 7 chord tone, 6 to 5 chord tone of some sort. Okay. Either way, the idea of getting in between open and your strong G position 2 chord. Oh, sorry. Yeah, G position 2 chord. Yeah, sorry. That's right. That's what I meant to say. And these things that I'm saying, don't worry about them too much. They're all part of the cage theory, but if you just do these moves and don't even know what you're doing, there's going to be money. So you also can come from a full step down. You could do that on any of these. Basically mess around with the position you're at. Okay. I'm going to try this on this A minor. It's another little funky jam and cool. Thank you, Jack. Okay, I got my talking mic back. All right, so just to tell you what I was doing, because I'm not trying to hide anything from anyone. So when we're here in our position, I was doing a lot of 6 to 7 and 6 to 5 on our D string. So over our A minor chord. The other thing I was doing, I was dropping down, and it's very accessible, same exact hand position, ring finger on the 7th. And on the A string, the 5th string, I was doing 6 to 7 and 6 to 5. And that's because one of the big, if probably the big money note, very cool out interval, as long as you resolve it, is the flat 5 against the minor chord. If you don't know what that means, you will eventually, but that's what I was doing, dropping down to the A and doing the same thing. Okay, so now we're going to do the F. We're going to go from this F. Our ring finger is on the root here, 3rd fret of the delta string, the 4th string, D string. We're going to slide, just like always, from 3 to 7. And then it's going to be 5, and it's going to be 6. This is part of the C shape F major chord, but we're just playing it like this. And again, I'm gonna have to lift this ring finger, or you could also slide it, but I'm gonna generally do the two of those, and then you're trying to get back into this position generally, at least for this exercise. And if I do again 6 to 7, oh my goodness, that's my minor third and my major third and my minor third and 2. Again, all those cool phrases. So let's see what it sounds like on our last chord of. Right, you'll see me where I'm just kind of sliding the whole chord, especially up here. Just playing that note, but I'm getting into resolving to one of the other chord tones. Okay, so that's the whole kit and caboodle, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little outro jam. I'm going to start with just kind of going in between our places, like we were talking about. Now that you know what's going on, hopefully it'll be even more enlightening. I'll try to get both hands. Not that the right hand matters so much. Your technique is your technique in this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to extrapolate to kind of the next area, and I don't know if I get enough interest, I can maybe do something like that. But if you know your scales, like I said, down here are our open C major scale. Up here are our closed G shape. Okay, so basically I'm going to get, after a few little rounds, I won't go too long, and I'll just kind of fade it out, and I'll see you next time. I'm supposed to say please subscribe, and also please like. That would be awesome. In theory, I could make a little bit of passive money on YouTube, which would be amazing. But I need watch hours and all that stuff. But hopefully people get stuff out of this. That is the main thing. So I'm going to play between these two chords positions, and then I'm going to start, as I play it a few times, bringing in some of the other notes of the scale, but trying to also keep those really heavily just so y'all can see. Okay, see you next time. Let's see what happens. And thank you to Jack's Guitar Tracks.